Alright, welcome back. This will be part 8 in the series of What If Deku Was Born with the Hybrid Quirk. I believe where I last left off was with Izu and Katsuki, taking, Katsuri to the gym. And let me explain. The reason why this gym has rooms that you can use your quirks in is because the owner of the gym is actually a pro, and he has a special license to kind of provide a training facility for young people, basically giving them like quirk counseling and everything, which is what some other YouTubes call it, where like they help young kids get a handle on their quirks and stuff like that. But he needs permission slips to do it from like the parents. And so we cut back to the gym and everything. And so it goes on for a couple of hours, that Izuku and Katsuki are kind of going over with Katsuri, about her quirk, how it can be dangerous, how she can potentially hurt herself or someone around her, like they did when they were kids. Like, not in a way that it doesn't scare her, but she kind of like gets it because she still is kind of young. And they just want to make sure that their little sister doesn't end up hurting herself with the explosions and stuff like Katsuki did when he was younger. So they go on a couple of hours, like giving her a few pointers, and Izuku's using his quirk to kind of like do every single time she gets a little strained and stuff. He takes he basically heals her by absorbing the damage from her and everything, which coincidentally is making her more durable because basically her bone, her muscle tissues and stuff like that are just, she's basically working them out and they're basically getting instantly healed. So she's getting a little bit stronger so she can handle bigger explosions and stuff like that. And Katsuki is going over her on how to use her quirk because their quirks are very similar. When before like Izuku's quirk mutated his own and stuff, so he understands how her quirk works because it's basically the same quirk. It's just because of Izuku's quirk, his own quirk is way more powerful than it normally would be. So that being said, they end their session and on the way to get some ice cream before they head home because they did promise her some ice cream. She asks Big Bro Kachan and Izuku-chan, can we do this again? So Izuku says, Suri-chan, of course, even when me and Kachan are pros, we'll always help you. And Katsuki replies to this, he's like, that's right, Suri-chan. So on they go to the ice cream shop, they get some ice cream, they sit down and Izuku is asking Katsuri, is like, so how, what do you understand, like how to, she, did you gain a little bit of control of your quirk and do you understand it a little bit more? And she's like, yeah, I do, but I really want to do this again with you guys. And Izuku reiterates, like, we'll always like help you out if you need help. And so they finish their ice cream. She finishes the ice cream up, and they start walking home and everything. And then all of a sudden, Izuku picks her up and hands her to Katsuki, and like, and says, Kachan's gonna give you a flight ride around somewhere, and he leans in, hugging both of them and whispering into Katsuki's ear, "Get her out of here now." And instantly, Katsuki puts one arm around Kitsuri, kind of like holding her tight, and heads and blasts off, heading to UA. So when he gets to UA, he lands and tells Katsuri, "Suri-chan, Big Bro's going to give you a tour and introduce you to the principal. He's a nice guy, and I think you'll like him because he kind of looks like a dog slash cat slash bear." And this kind of piques Katsuri's attention. She's like, "Whoa, this place is big." And once they get in, they're greeted by Nezu. And Nezu says, "Young Bakugos, what brings you here?" Uh, and Katsuki replies on code 4. And he's like, "Oh, okay, well, head to my office and I'll head up there soon. I need to make a phone call." So we cut back to Izuku, and this is the few minutes prior to them, Katsuki and Katsuri, getting to UA. Izu instantly kind of buffs up and jumps up to like the top of one of the buildings around, and he immediately says, "I know you're there. Show yourself. And why are you following us?" So at that moment, this woman kind of comes into the visible spectrum, and and then Izuku is like, "Yeah." She's like, "How did you know? If I didn't want you knowing that I was here, I wouldn't have let my smell get out." And Izuku's like, "Why do you have a similar smell to me and Mom? Like, why is your smell so familiar? Like, it kind of smells like me." And she's like, "Well, I can't really tell you that now, but this is kind of a warning. There's people coming after you. You need to prepare. And they will go after the people you love." And at this point, like, Izuku sees like her eyes glow, and she just completely vanishes. And he is kind of, and then as she's like leaving, he hears her say, is like, "Soon you'll find out who I am, and I will explain everything to you." And with that, Izuku kind of like starts heading to UA. We cut back to Principal Nezu, like he's called All Might and tells him that there is a code 4 going on, which is Izuku and Katsuki being followed. Hold on a moment. Sorry about the interruption. Where were we? I think I was at Nezu making a phone call and calling All Might and saying that it's a code 4. And I was explaining that a code 4 is that Katsuki and Izuku are being followed by a suspicious person, and it's potentially a villain that is out to attack them or something like that. It's not necessarily it could potentially be a bad thing, but it's just certain protocols that they have to follow because information was sort of linked to like some information about Izuku was kind of leaked, and it has like gone around, and it has come to the League of Villains because they started trying to figure out like who this kid was that completely eviscerated a Nomu that was meant to kill All Might's when he was in his prime, and they don't know about like All Might's boost in power and everything because All Might hasn't really shown like isn't showing Black Whip in public. And you may be asking, like, why All Might has access to Black Whip. Well, when Izuku did a blood bond with him, it mutated All For One. It mutated his body and All For One a little bit, and gave All Might access to one of the Vestige's quirks, it being Black Whip. So, as the woman is leaving, I don't know if I mentioned it, but she said to Izuku that I can't tell you who I am, but just let you know they are coming after you, and I'm basically taking a huge chance doing this. And when we meet again, I will explain everything to you, what's going on and who I am. So Izuku is like I remember now. Sorry about the interruption again. So Izuku kind of starts heading to UA, because that's where the meetup is when like something like this happens. They basically go there, and Nezu, like after he gets off the phone with All Might, he calls Mitsuki and Mazura up, and he explains the situation, that they don't know exactly what's going on, and they immediately call Mitsuki tells Mazura to call Izuku, and at this time, All Might spots Izuku, and he kind of like lands next to Izuku. One moment, I have more guests coming in. I'm kind of at work recording this. Never mind. But so All Might kind of like lands next to Izuku, and he's asking, he's like, "Young Midoriya, is everything okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, but I kind of need to speak with you, Katsuki, Principal Nezu, because apparently the league is after me now because of what happened at the USJ. And what this is going to do is actually expedite the dorm systems to before the it's going to really make it to where they're going to be instituting the dorm systems and everything. So it's another instance, and it's going to play into a role of the Force training arc and everything. So that being said, let's get on with the story. So, like, All Might and Izuku kind of, like, arrive at UA, and, like, Izuku's getting, like, a phone call from Mitsuki and Mazura. Like, he answers the fifth call, and Izuku tells him that he's fine. It's, like, nothing really to worry about. Because he doesn't want to, like, worry them more than what they already are. And at this point, like when they're coming out, Katsuki and Katsuri are kind of like walking out of the building, and like Kitsune runs up to Izuku and is like, yeah, this place is awesome, and like that Mr. Nezu, he's pretty cool. He's kind of cute. He looks like a bear. He looks like a bear, a cat, and a dog mixture. And everything. Like she's just like kind of out, and then she's like, oh, oh my, it's you, and everything. And she is a little bit of a fan. But we get to the next day. So like Mitsuki and Mazura arrive and everything, and they're asking, "Is everything okay?" And they're kind of worrying you guys and stuff. And Izuku's like, it's nothing. Like, I just thought someone was following me. It turned out to be nothing. And so they accept this. And Nezu says that he was actually about to like call them and ask them to like come because he has to talk to them about the sports festival. Basically, telling them that they're gonna have to wear limiters if they participate, because like they will like to go over some rules for them specifically with the sports festival, because if they went all out they would destroy the building and stuff. So that being said, they Dezu, like Katsuki and Izuku kind of stay back, and they say goodbye to Katsuri, and they tell her, like, we'll do this again, and we'll definitely like kind of try to make this a monthly or a bi-monthly thing. And like on the way home, Katsuri's like telling Mitsuki and Mazura like how much fun she had today and everything, and they're kind of looking at this. They're like, whoa, those two boys really can take care of themselves, because Katsuri's completely oblivious to the whole thing, like the whole seriousness and like what had happened. So in the meeting with Nezu, All Might, and like and the Eraserhead and a couple other pros and like the police, because when Izuku mentioned the League of Villains and everything, he explains that he doesn't quite understand it himself, but this woman had a familiar scent, and she kind of warned him about the League of Villains, that they're going to try something and come after him. So this puts Nezu and the pros on high alert. And so the security detail, that the increased security that they had in Camden, is actually a lot more. And Izuku and Katsuki are kind of asked to not participate in the sports festival, and they were like, well, we actually weren't going to participate anyway, because Izuku and Katsuki explained to Nezu and All Might that after graduation they're going to start their own hero agency, and Izuku's already setting up like a building and everything, and trying to get the permits and stuff, because the type of agency that they want to do is a court counseling / education / investigation, like basically really doing a like hero work plus community outreach. And that's like the kind of hero that he wants to be. So Izuku and Katsuki really won't be participating in the sports festival, but they will do a show of power, because at the end because this is a um when Nezu and the government had planned to reveal the special training program that they want to institute for people that have quirks that are hard to control, or like that have dangerous quirks, or kids of that were attacked by villains and everything. Basically, like really instituting a quirk canceling program. And Izuku and Katsuki are the first explaining to the world that Izuku and Katsuki are the first graduates of this program. And so that's why Katsuki and Izuku have helped Katsuri with their quirk earlier that day, and have been working with other students, because one of the things with the program is eventually, when they have enough graduates or students of it, that the students of this program can learn from each other and everything, and improve, and actually get over maybe some traumas and stuff that they happened. So that being said, in the next episode, it's going to cover the next 5 days, and then there's going to be 2 days of rest. There's going to be a day of rest or something, but this is all happening within the next couple of days leading up to the sports festival. Some of Izuku's classmates are going to pick his brain, and a few are going to come approach Katsuki about it. And so we'll get into that part, and then I think I will cover the race in the next episode, because Izuku and Katsuki will kind of participate, but then drop out of the sports festival afterwards. Because they kind of asked Nezu, can we at least participate on the day of, when it's the race. They asked Nezu if they can participate, just to have a competition between the two of them. And Nezu was okay, but just don't interfere with the other students. Don't stop them or block them or anything. And this is going to have a big effect on a few people, like Shoto and a few of the other students. That's going to push them to actually show a few special moves and stuff they had been working on sooner than later. So with that, again, please like and subscribe, and I appreciate all the subs and everything over the past couple of days, and have a nice day and enjoy the year.